Hello everyone, Marrow here. So today I wanted to share some small stories from school and just the general moments I should have realized that I am a romantic. These stories are going to span from the last year of middle school to near senior year of high school. I hope you enjoy it. Let's start off with the first story. Middle school. 8th grade was 8th grade was a stressful time, emotion wise. So, to start off, I was texting a male friend from my small friend group. We texted back and forth, mostly role playing, nothing adult. It was more or less just the two of us using characters to go on very stupid adventures. And one day, he asks me out over text, and I, with pretty much zero thoughts or any real feelings towards him, said yes. I've never had a boyfriend before, so this was kind of a huge stepping stone for a young me. The next day at school, however, I got to class and my guy friend said that he had to break up with me. Because another friend of mine told him that if we dated, it would go bad due to my guy friend having anger issues. I was a little upset, mostly at my other friend, and throughout the day, two other guys in two different classes tell me that they would have liked to date me. I had no idea what was going on, and when I brought it up at dinner to my parents that evening, I was mostly just confused and nervous. I guess I didn't realize the nervousness was from my dislike of being in a romantic relationship. So yeah, three guys showed interest in me and it was weird. Let's move on to the second story. The first high school story, which like to call practice dating. So story number 2 is slightly embarrassing. My friend group from middle school had gotten a bit bigger when high school started, and in comes a new guy into our group. He was fine. He was a My Little Pony fan, and he and I bonded over that. So one day while we were walking to lunch, he asks me if I found it weird if a freshman dates a sophomore, and since it's pretty much just a 1 year difference, I told him that I didn't really find it weird at all, because, it's just a 1 year difference. He proceeds to ask me out. I tell him that I've never dated anyone before, so we pretty much just compromise and begin to quote unquote practice date for a week. And that was one of the yuckiest weeks in my entire life. Every time that I was around him and just holding his hand, I hated that so much that by the end of the week, I told him that it wasn't working. I don't know why, but there was just something about him that made me dislike him, so I ended up hating him for the rest of high school. I still don't really know why. And so we move on to our last story. The second high school story, which I like to call the 6-hour Valentine. And this is a pretty funny story. So, I'm around 16, 17 at this point, and a new girl has joined the friend group. She and I bond over some anime. I don't really remember much about her. I just remembered that she likes anime. So, Valentine's Day rolls around. I think it's like 2016, 2017, maybe? So, Valentine's Day rolls around, and she gives me a few gifts, like candy, a stuffed bear, some sort of cologne in a bottle. I don't know why she gave that last thing to me. And she also gives me a letter, and it essentially went, I know you like guys, but I want to know if we can go out. Because at the time, I thought I was gay. And you know what? I'm still sort of am. It's just kind of hard to explain. So I, caught up in all the gifts and just how sudden all of this was, said yes. I don't learn from my mistakes when it comes to like dating and emotions. Or at least back then I didn't. So I roamed the halls that day, carrying around that stuffed bear and feeling something churning in my stomach. It wasn't until after I got home that my brain reconnected to the rest of me and realized that getting into a relationship with a girl that I didn't know all that well was not a good idea. So I committed a dating sin of sorts. I broke up with her over text. It had only been 6 hours since she asked me out. She was fine with this somehow, and pretty much the next day, the rest of the group said that what I did was a quote unquote dick move. And another friend suggested to me that I might be aromantic. I pretty much took that aromanticism part of myself and shoved it into the deepest pocket I could and didn't really think about it until the beginning of 2022. That's when I finally came to terms with being aromantic and asexual, and that there's nothing wrong with me. That's just how I am. So yeah, that's my very uh that's my very small experience with dating and stuff. I apologize if any of these stories were boring. So, do any of you have any weird dating experiences? Leave them down in the comments below. Bye everyone.